I'm sure you've been inundated with questions about is there reopening, is there not reopening? So what's the key message you're telling your clients?
Okay, so if we look at everything that has happened, have been told, there are really more rumors than actual changes. But there are subtle changes. It's not that there's nothing has changed. Because in reality, we can see very clearly that the outbreaks are increasingly overwhelming, exhausting local governments in many, many more places now. So we are reaching a point that, whether maybe the Chinese government like it or not, they have to look ahead, how to deal with it, how to get out of it. It is a matter of timing, but it is very uncertain timing.
And what is the timing that you think would be logical at this point of when we could see that full reopening?
Okay. So there are two scenarios here. One is we will call it a bottom-up approach, meaning that we never get any rhetoric change from the top. Maybe they were looking for a subtle balance here, not to kill the economy, something like that. But it's more going to come from the local governments. Just they do what they can, they try their best, but the outbreaks are out of control. So you were seeing, places one after another try to relax as much as they can, or basically it's sort of like forced exit. The other scenario, a better one, would be the central government really try to speed up all the necessary preparation, right? Talking about the vaccination among the vulnerable, the ICU capacity, and a communication change. Telling the Chinese people, this is not the worst thing that can happen to you. You can prepare for it, you don't have to panic. If they do this preparation, if they put their effort together, it can be quick. Then we can look at, maybe in I don't know, 3 months, 6 months time, they can make a more proper announcement that we're there. But if they do the preparation, we will be able to see it very clearly.
Right, and they would start communicating it more clearly, I guess. So how do you forecast the economy next year? I mean, do you have two sets of books, two sets of assumptions?
Yeah, it is very challenging. Unfortunately, it is my job. I have to do it. So, but when you look at, again, realistically, the outbreaks are pretty challenging. It's still that more local governments will see outbreak in their area. And we potentially will have more lockdowns before anything could meaningfully relax. So the next 3 to 6 months, i.e. during the winter, the economy will be under a lot of pressure because more likely than not, the central government will not change their rhetoric just yet. If they don't, then we see more lockdown, we see more, pressure on the economy.
Looking at other examples of places virtually across the world that have reopened, one thing was fairly consistent. There was pent-up demand and there was revenge spending. Can we use that example in China's case? Like, are we underestimating the consumer once we sort of lift this veneer of COVID, and what's that economy that's behind waiting?
Okay, so for sure, if the zero COVID policy is over, we will see pent-up demand, at least for a quarter, maybe two. Yes, people would want to travel, they want to enjoy their life, all true. But I don't think the scale of the magnitude of the pent-up demand will match that we see in the West, at least. Because throughout this pandemic, the Chinese government has never offered much direct fiscal support to the household sector. That's a very big difference from the other governments. And also, because it lasts longer, the damage on the income prospect, the damage on the overall economy, and the most importantly, the damage on the confidence may be more lasting. So again, I think yes, consumption will recover, but it's not going to go back to the pre-pandemic trend. Far from it.